Hi, this is Debbie. Welcome back to Cheyenne, Wyoming Urban Gardener. I'm here in Cheyenne, Wyoming in the big Victorian house. It is on the National Historical Registry, and I've talked about it in the past in some videos. So if you have not had a chance to check those out, then go check those out. There are lots of videos on this channel where you can get all kinds of information about gardening and all sorts of things. And yes, I am out here and it is dark right now because I have been working in the garden pretty much all day. And what I've been doing is planting my cabbages, planting my broccoli, planting a whole lot of stuff out here. But we're supposed to have another cold spell coming up this weekend. I don't think it's going to be quite as cold to snow. It might snow a little bit, but brassicas, those are your cabbages, your broccoli, and your cauliflower, and things of that nature usually weather those things pretty okay. So I just went ahead and got those out because they were really struggling. They wanted to be outside, and I just went ahead and got them out here. I ended up having 4 rows of cabbages and broccoli and cauliflower, both red cabbages, white cabbages. I had picked up some more cabbage just because they were cheap and they looked so good, so I went ahead and picked those up. My peas are starting to come up now. I've got peas coming up. We planted our, got a new one going to happen this year, okra. This is going to be a bush type of okra, a very short variety, about the tallest that it gets, I believe, is supposed to be 24 inches, maybe less. I'll have to check that again. But anyway, it's called Bubba or Buddha okra. Anyway, we're going to be growing that. I'm not a huge fan of okra, but I do put it in gumbo and some things. And we do like to fry okra. But I have been on this health change that I mentioned in the last video. So I've not been doing a whole lot of fried foods and reduced salt, reduced sugar, all kinds of things. But anyway, we're out here in the garden right now, which you can't see very much of because it is so dark. You can see a little bit more this direction, but it's pretty fuzzy. And that's because I've been out here in the garden working like crazy. All of my potatoes are coming up, all of my Kennebecks, and I actually planted 3 more short rows, 5 pounds of potatoes for Yukon Gold, just because I wanted to have something a little bit different as well. So we should have lots of potatoes this year. I hope that we will have lots of potatoes. I hope everything goes all right with them. But that's what we've planted so far. We've got the corn planted, but it has not came up yet. Just the potatoes so far have came up. We carried all of our plants back outside that we had taken in from the last cold snap. We've got strawberries that are blooming now. Wish I could show them to you, but it is dark. But we do have strawberries blooming, and we're going to be picking up some more strawberries because I think the strawberries that we planted, I'm probably going to say something to the store that we bought them from, because the grow bag that I bought with strawberries, none of them have shown any action whatsoever. And the ones that we put into the converted cook kiddie pool, which were mostly strawberries that I had last season, those came back. But we did plant some more that we had picked up, and they did not. So probably going to go complain a little bit at the store, see if there's anything that they can do to help alleviate the cost on that, because strawberries are not cheap, especially in Cheyenne, Wyoming, because a lot of things are hard to get here. People don't really think that you can grow a whole lot of things. There's not many of us that garden here in Cheyenne. I've met more this year than I have in the past. I think a lot more people are trying it. But we do have some beans coming up now. I did notice those today. They popped up. Actually, I checked them this morning. There wasn't anything. And then this evening, one had already came up like 3 inches. So we've got beans coming up all along the trellises here. And then the onions are doing great. You can't see them right now, but they are doing fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shut it off. A short video, just because it is so dark out here right now. But you can see all of my accent lights that I had put out here last season are still working. You can see all of them out through our walkway. And this is the front of the house right now that I'm walking in front of. But I wish you could see it. There was lots of stuff planted today. We got our carrots planted today, lettuces planted today, potatoes planted today, cabbages, broccoli, and cauliflower. Good night, Bill. That's my grandson being silly, headed to bed. He's been outside all day with us, as well as the dogs. And I want to get some more bunching onions planted, and then we have basically just this little section left in the garden to plant squash and things like that, like a zucchini and yellow straight neck. I will be putting the running squash in other places and pumpkins in other places. But we don't have a very big garden. I mean, it's basically the size of a kitchen garden is, and we work with what we have. Even though I widened it this year, we've got way more plants than we had last season. So, little section left for squashes and a little section left for tomatoes, which we still have loads of tomatoes to get out. So I may be putting them in containers, some of them. But we do have cucumbers still to plant, and I got some eggplants to plant, all kinds of things still coming out and headed for the garden. Anyway, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for notices on new videos as they come out, and we shall see you in the next one.